Now we're going to take a look at setting up a linear programming problem. This falls under the umbrella of optimization questions, either maximizing or minimizing something. Linear because the objective function is linear and the conditions to be met, the constraints, are also linear. So let's take a look at the problem. Give you a minute to read that. We're not going to come up with how to solve that just yet. Just looking at setting up the problem. So it looks like what we have here are two variables to consider. That's we're going to be giving out homeowner loans and auto loans. All right, so defining the variables. How much to give out in auto loans and how much to give out in home loans. Since the home loans got mentioned first, I'm calling that X. Now, although we first read that we have a total of $10 million, that is not going to be the objective function. It's going to be our first constraint, that X plus Y is, since they can't give out more, X plus Y is going to be less than or equal to 10 million. Our objective function is coming from the annual rates of return. So we want to maximize the return, and we're going to take 15% or 0.15 times X and 11% or 0.11 times Y, add them together for our total return. That's what we want to maximize. I've already mentioned that the first sentence was giving us our first constraint. Now, what else? Now, notice we need to state whether we're maximizing or minimizing. We need to have this equal to something. I could have called that R instead of P, unless a name is given to me for it. Okay, we need to state that this is subject to, sometimes abbreviated as S.T. All right, now we also have that management has also stipulated that the total amount of homeowner loans, X, is supposed to be greater than or equal to 5 times the amount of automobile loans, which was Y. So X is greater than or equal to 5Y. It was not mentioned, but is implied. You're not going to give out a negative amount of loans. So we have non-negativity constraints that X and Y are both greater than or equal to 0. And one last thing, the X greater than or equal to 5Y could have been written this way. You could subtract 5Y from both sides to have X minus 5Y greater than or equal to 0. Or you could subtract X from both sides and have negative X plus 5Y less than or equal to 0, which is actually something that's useful for things going on later on.